Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, it's October 11th, 2020. I'm out by the Western Garden plot right here, and I thought it'd be time for another garden update. And this is getting towards the end of the season. There's still crops in here. We've had a couple of frosts, but without any further ado, I'm going to put the helmet cam on and we'll take a walk around and chat about things. Okay, we're out here at the Western Garden plot. This area looks quite a bit different. The blue Hubbards were all in here. You can see a lot of the weeds I pulled out this morning, tossed over here. They'll end up, I'll let them sit here for a day or so, and then they'll go up to the hazelnuts bushes to go ahead and use as fertilizer. Even though there's weed seeds there, they'll be going up there. I did take out a couple of the hog panels. In the springtime when I put this garden in, I used these used hog panels that I got from a goat farmer, and here's one of the ways of so this is how close the spacing is for the hog panels, and you see the goats had stepped on these things and bent them all up and all. But I decided to use these to try these out as a trellis for the honeydews and the cantaloupes, and for a variety of reasons, but they're just too close to the blue Hubbards and to the scarlet red runner beans, and as a result it didn't work out that well. The scarlet red runner beans that were all along in this side here, all the beans and most of the foliage that was on this side were consumed by the deer at nighttime, which is just fine. We want to take care of the wildlife here. We love the deer. And let's go into this area here. So I haven't gone down here and weeded amongst the honeyberries down in this area here, and you'd see there are still quite a few of the scarlet red runner beans on this side of the fencing here. You see there's a few blue Hubbards, a couple of honeydews here. Along the ground here on the cardboard, you can see all those seeds right here. These are all of the Pennsylvania smartweed seeds. These were the two rows, so this is the row where the blue Hubbards were. This is where the honeydew and the trellis was that I just talked about removing. Now we did get a fair number of honeydews out of here. I don't think we got any cantaloupes out of here, but we got a plethora, well over 30 or just over 30 blue Hubbard squash out of this patch here. So, and they grow like crazy. They grew over the fence, they grew over this side. There's still one more blue Hubbard in here that I haven't dug out that's inside of the cattle panels. I did weed some around here for the thornless blackberry plants that I've got to do more work with. I just got tired working over in here. I got to do some more weeding, and I've got to pot these up a little bit better. I never got to it, unfortunately. Just not getting to many of the jobs that I wanted to get to around here. And I've got to get this area tarped. The blueberry plants have been doing great. Really happy with how well they're doing. Now I got to try and protect them for winter, so I got to get the small electric conduit hoops down here, see if I can get those set up. I still got to weed around the honeyberries over there. These are the kidney beans that we put in after what were they, cauliflower and Acer red cabbage. We pulled those out. Some of those, the wind really knocks them. Boy, we've had some real super windstorms, lost some more trees recently. I've got to do more weeding in here, and you can see we still have lots of scarlet red runner beans still coming. Haven't weeded around the lupines that are all off to the side here. The lupines are doing good during this drought. As far as the drought goes, we've had in the last couple weeks, I think since mid-September, we've had just over 4/10 of an inch of rain. So everything's been really dry. So as a result, I'll be posting a video soon about Pond 7 because I went back there and worked this last week and a half, or maybe 2 weeks now. When you're retired, all the times sort of blend together. Yesterday I used Optimus Prime here and the trailer and moved some earth, some soil from areas that I've been working on up to the 3rd food forest area, and I'll try and do an update on the 3rd forest area where the garlic and the shallots go and all, and I still have to do an update on those. Now we're here in the central garden plot. After the corn was pulled out, and after I went through and harvested other things, I pulled the weed mats back, and I've made videos about these in the past. And I decided to try and get a cover crop in here. Now it's late in the season, of course, but there's alfalfa and wheat. So here's some of the wheat here. I didn't have much seed, but this is all alfalfa along in here. It won't have much time to get more. Boy, have we gotten lots of tomatoes off of these buggers, and we have had a couple of frosts, so these frost protectors have protected them quite significantly. Here are some more of the kidney beans that were in where the broccoli was. More wheat and alfalfa in both of these areas. We still haven't gotten to the kale yet. I did harvest a week and a half ago, I think now, the sweet potatoes that really turned out really well. There's alfalfa seeds started in here as well. So, and yeah, we've been busy. Real happy with the productivity of, geez, I gotta say, I really want to do more and more cover crops. However, given the number of projects that we have here on site and how much we're dependent on the foods that we produce here on site and the limited resources that we have, this has really worked out extremely well. And I do love the weed mats, and this single row planting system works so well, where the tarps are like they are right now for those bean plants. And then pulling the tarps back, I should do it immediately after pulling the crop out of the ground, get it seeded again so we can get some growth there. All this is going to be tarped soon because the snow is going to be coming really soon, unfortunately. So let's go over into the eastern garden plots and see how things look over here. The scarlet red runners are doing well here, especially the second half that isn't in the shade and that didn't have the lettuce and the spinach that was up at the other end. Leeks are about ready to harvest soon. I really should try and get to these next week. We have been harvesting the eggplants the last few weeks, and Thea came through and got all the rest of them, last week I think it was, and got those all processed. I'll post a video soon on the seed saving from each of the varieties, the Oriental, which are the banana shaped eggplants, and the really common Black Beauty eggplants. Today I came out here, lopped those off, set them down, pulled off a few of the eggplants that weren't visible at the time. I also came out and got some of the hot peppers, the ones that were already red in this area. So Thea's in processing those right now. We'll let the rest of them go until the very end of the season. This is where the blue potatoes were, and this is red Russian kale here. You could eat this at this size as well, but I seeded it pretty heavy from some of our own seed, and just letting this get turned into more nutrients for the soil here. Trying to increase the carbon and the nitrogen in these soils, and to give the microorganisms stuff to work with. So dill has already been taken care of in this area. Here we got lots of seeds from our honey locust tree here. I've got to pick up some of those and save some of these seeds. I don't save them every year. The sage has done well here. Under the shade, it isn't doing quite as well as the sage over in the other area, which I'll show you in just a minute. This trellis I talked about before. This area we really didn't use this year, other than the Georgia sweet candy squash. They did really, really well. We have some sage at the other end of this, but this trellis is coming out. It isn't as effective as I'd like it to be, but I really do love these trellises, unless we decide to put more beans on this trellis next year. I don't know. I may be too busy with other projects, like I seem to always be being. We got chives all going to seed down here right now. We have the a few of the red kidney beans still in here. Thea came through and did a very nice weeding of the 2 garden plots for the strawberry beds. I've got to come over here and move a lot of these strawberry beds, strawberry plants over to this side. So I'm going to repopulate this bed here for next year, and this bed will take off like crazy next year. Have some more peppers over in this area, the hot peppers. I can't remember which ones these ones were. They all got mixed up this season. Of course, the basil's all going to seed. I probably should save some of the basil. After the onions were taken out, you can see there's spinach all along in there as well. Boy, these basils are... Yeah, we got lots of basil seeds here. I'm going to have to save some. I'm not actually going to walk through and brush them off on the ground right now. So I've still got to save, there's so many seeds I've got to save now. And I've been busy out back working on pond 7. So excuses. And what else? And I think I talked about these already, and it's all weeds right now, oh Lord. So this trellis here, I'm not that happy with either. So I've got to decide how I'm going to deal with all of these trellises and what we're ultimately going to be growing in these plots. And I am working hard at developing other areas on the property where we can have better places for growing squashes and pumpkins and so on. Now you can see the area that gets full sun, how beautiful these sage plants look. Absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to have to harvest some of those soon. The thyme is our herb garden up front, really loaded with thyme. It's just thyme to thyme every place. But we've got to put some more transplants in here as well. So, and the lavender, of course. And the irises are coming up here nicely, but so aren't all the darn weeds. I don't think I'm going to get to this area this year. Well, that's a walkabout through our various garden plots. Overall, I'm real happy with how everything's worked out this year. I didn't get to do some of the things that I'd like to have done. Some of the biggest advantages that we've had in our really short season, and talking about short seasons, not too long ago I was looking at one of Tim's updates. So Tim's Homestead, good homesteader channel. I'll try to remember to put a link in the description below. He's a one-man operation as well, and he had some really good production on his property. But one of the things I noticed was a couple of weeks ago, he actually had his Jerusalem artichokes or sunchokes in full flower when I saw it probably 3 weeks ago. And I'm jealous. Ours just opened the day before yesterday, all of our Jerusalem artichokes. So we're dealing with this super short season that we have. So we have to make the best of it. And sometimes, like some of the more common varieties that other people have success with, just 30 minutes south of us in Syracuse, New York, they have bell peppers that look great and all. Here we don't have enough warm days to really produce those bell peppers. We're real fortunate that we've really honed in on many of the crops that do so well with our season and our soils and all, and certainly some of the big advantages that have helped us be much more productive with minimized work input. The weed mats, single row utilization of the weed mats to grow a single row of a crop at a time instead of the holes the way we used to burn them into the weed mats. That has worked out so much better. No, it doesn't produce as much food, but we're not bringing it to a farmer's market, or we don't have a community-sponsored agricultural system. This allows us to have less time on site dealing with it. The drip irrigation system minimizes the amount of water that's being used, and through the severe drought we've had this year, boy, things really worked out as well. Having the habitats, the living edges, the farmscaping, the ponds, the swale systems, and the canal systems, all bring in all of these beneficial insects that really helped with our integrated pest management system. So we had hardly any pests. We're not having to pick out all of those green worms out of our produce as well. We've really had very, very few pests, and that's also a contribution to using the weed mats as well. So we create an ecosystem here that's dependent upon the surrounding ecosystems that have been built into our systems around here. So those systems that I talked about, the swales, the canals, the ponds, the bioremediation systems and all that, and having the honey hut there, that's not just for the food forest, that's for our garden plots as well. It really reduces the number of hours that Thea and I have to spend doing these things. When we really want to, like today, I was saving eggplant seeds and doing some weeding in the area that I didn't have the weed mats in. So it helps us to be more productive with less work. And that's one of my big goals is fewer processes for us to participate in order to, and still have the same amount of yield, to have an abundance of food, excess of what you can actually consume or process. Thea's an unsung hero. She's in there now taking care of peppers and all from the few pepper plants that I pulled today, and the remaining eggplants as well. So it's a team effort. It's really worked out very well so far this season. There'll probably be one more update, I'm not sure, as well. And I'll try and do some more seed saving techniques. And I'll try to put one in the upper right hand corner from the tomato, the San Marzano tomato seed saving, where I went through in detail, like I will with the eggplants, is the fermenting process and all that to help promote the viability of the seeds that we're saving. So, excuse me, if you found this video of value, please give us a thumbs up, share it with your friends. If you purchase things on Amazon, you can use our Amazon affiliate link down below. It doesn't cost you anything, but it helps to fund our channel as well. Thanks so much for watching, folks, and have a super fantastic day and stay safe. Grow more food. Bye-bye now.